Good morning students. Welcome back to computer science class. Today, here I am going to explain you about the file system. What is a file, how it will be stored and how to give a permissions to the file. Okay, and what is the file management and what is a file system, that we'll discuss today. I think you all know what is a file. Okay, what is a file? File is a collection of data. And where that file stored? On the hard disk or any secondary storage device. Actually, internally, what is the file? Example, whatever information you are storing, that is called as a data. Okay, whatever information you are storing, that is called as a data. Data is stored in a file. Okay, in the system I'm explaining. And where this file will be stored? In a directory. Okay, and directory is stored in a file. Where the directory is stored in a file system. Okay, so this is a hierarchy of the data, means hierarchy of the file system, how the file is created, what's stored inside the file, and where that file is stored, and where the directory is stored. This is the internal structure. So whenever you want to store any information, where we store whatever information you are storing, that is called as a data. And where that data is stored? In a file. And where that file is stored? In the directory. And where that directory is stored? In the file system. Okay. Actually, this is a logical structure inside the system. Now, come to a definition of the file. Okay. File definition. Actually, first thing is, file is a collection of related information. File is a collection of related information, and that information stored on secondary storage device. Okay, or a secondary storage device, or it can also be said that file is a collection of bits, number of bits, number of bytes, and the number of records which are stored on the secondary storage devices. And logically, every file contains logically a location where the file is stored. Understood? So, and it is also, you can give the definition that file is a logically, file is a collection of bytes, bits and the records. Physically, file is a smallest individual unit of a directory. Okay, it is a not directory, it is a hard disk, secondary storage. It is the smallest cell of a secondary storage device. Okay, or simply you can say that file is a collection of related information, and that file is stored on the secondary storage device. Okay, what is a file? File is a collection of related information, and what is the meaning of that information is given by the owner and the person, the user who created the file. Okay, the person who created the file is called as a file owner. Only that person knows what is the meaning of that file and what is the content of that file. Okay, so now file is logically, every file should have a location. Next term, when you are saving a file, what it should have, what it should contain. The first one is, it should contain name of the file. Okay, file name. Understand? File name. So, who will give the file name? The person who created the file, the user of the file. It's not the owner of the file will give the name of the file. And according to the rules, every file should have a file extension. Okay, name of the file and the file extension. Example, if you are giving like this, a.c. A is a name of the file and .c is a file format. Example, in the system, you can give a.c, a.doc, a.cpp. What is the difference here? The name of the file is the same. These file formats are different. So in order to differentiate different applications, the operating system will use file formats. So it is a rule that whenever the user is saving any file, he should give file format. With the help of the file format, we can identify what type of file it is. Okay, so whenever you are saving any file, a file should have name of the file and the file format. It is also called as a file extension. And this name of the file can be a character, it can be a number, or it can be any special symbol. Understood? A name of the file can be a collection of characters, collection of numbers, or any other special symbols. Understood? Now, .c is a file format. Just now I have explained. Every file should have a file extension. Example, in a system you can create files in a different applications, like you can create a file in a Word, you can create a file in Excel, you can create a file in a PowerPoint, you can create a C programming, Java programming. So how will you differentiate different files? Name can be a same. With the file format, the operating system will identify the file is a Word document, the file is a Excel, or the file is a PowerPoint. So that is why whenever you are saving any file, it is the condition that you should give a file format. Understood? And next, whenever the user creates a file, the user need to give the name of the file. And who will give the name of the file? The owner of the file will give the name of the file. So whenever the owner is giving the name of the file, he should give the file extension also, file format. Understood? And in the system, you can create different files, and you can manipulate the different files. You can use a different editors. Okay, like a word processor you can use to create a Word file. You can use Excel sheet to create the Excel. Next, you can use the slides to create a presentation. So you can use different editors to create the files. Understood? So file is it's a collection of sequence of bytes, and physically it is one slot of your secondary storage device where the data is stored, where your file is stored, and from where the file is retrieved. So according to the rule, every file should have a name, okay, and that name should be unique, okay. And next, every file should have a location where the file is stored. It is easy for the user. To retrieve that file if he knows the location. And next, whenever you are storing any information, if there is a name, then only it is easy for any user to access the file. Understood? And every file should be stored inside one directory. These are the key points. You can write these key points in the introduction part. Understood? Now, we'll discuss about the attributes of a file. Attributes of a file means actually what are the attributes of a file? See, whenever you create a file, you will give the name of the file, you will give the extension. Okay, but what are the attributes? Attributes provides some additional information about a file. Without attributes also you can save the file, but so without attributes, actually what is the use of the attributes? It helps the file management to manage the file, and the user can he can know the information about file, means when it is created, what is the size, that information, additional information. Actually attributes provides additional information to the file management and the user also. Okay, so here I have given a few attributes of the file, and you have number of attributes. So here up to 9 or 10 attributes I am explaining. If you want to open the attributes of the file, just you go to the location where the file is in the system. Next, just right click on that file. After right clicking on the file, you select the properties option. When you select the properties of the file, it will give the complete information about the file. So whatever information is there in that properties, that are nothing but the attributes of the file. So properties are nothing but it will give the list of all the attributes, all the properties of the file. Okay, so here first you take screenshot of this. So these are the list of the attributes you can write in the exam, and in the exam also if you'll get this question, then what is the file, what are the rules, how it will be stored. Just you give the introduction part. After giving the introduction part, you explain the file attributes, and whatever content you want to write in the exam, maximum you try to present that content in a graphical format. Okay, so attributes of a file. The first one is a name. So every file should have a name of the file. Okay, every file should have a name. Actually, what is the use of the name? A name is used to identify a file. Okay, and it is in the system, it is a symbolic. Symbolic means it is it is stored in the system in a human readable form only. Okay, it is not in a machine language at all, it is in a symbolic, in the particular symbol. It is the name of the file is nothing but the symbol. Understood? And every file should have a name of the file, extension of the file format of the file, and who will give the name and the file format? The owner who create the file, only that person will give the name of the file. Okay, and in the system, the name of the file is stored in the form of symbol. Symbol means that is in a human readable form. First attribute. Now come to the second one, identifier. So internally, in order to identify a file, a flag is used, and that flag is in a numeric format, and that is a unique, and that is not in a human readable format. Like hall ticket numbers, student number, for each and every file there is a unique number. That number is used to identify a file. That is called as a identifier. Okay, and that is not in a human readable form. Only the name of the file is in a human readable form. Now come to the type. This already I have explained. .c, .cpp, .java. That is called as a type of a file. Means what type of file? That is, it is a Word file, it is an Excel file, it is a PowerPoint. What type of file? That is identified by using a file type. Okay, as I already explained, whenever you are saving any file, that file should have a file extension, file format, file type, like this, a.c, a.cpp. So this is called as a type, means this is a file of C programming. With the help of the type only, we can identify what type of file it is. If it is a JPG, what it means? It is image file. MP3, it is an audio file. MP4, video file. So with the help of the file format or with the type of a file only, we can identify what type of file it is. Next to come to the location. So whenever you are saving any file, it will give you one window. There you need to give the location, means where you want to save a file, C drive, D drive, E drive, in E drive also in which folder, in which subfolder you want to save a file. So whenever you are saving any file, a file should have a location. Actually it is called, it is a logical information, that is. Means in order to, if you want to retrieve that file later, you need to know the location. So every file should have a location. Understood? So if you are saving a file in a folder of C drive, a folder of C drive. In the C drive, in the C drive, we have a folder called A. In A, we have a file called b.c. So this is called as a location of the file. Understood? So whenever you are saving any file, there should be a location of that file. Okay. So I am saving b.c in A folder. Where is the A folder? A folder is in a C drive. Okay. So this is called as a location of the file. Now come to the size. So example, you have any file. Whenever you are filling any online application form, they will give only the 20 MB size. The size of the image should be 20 MB. What it means? It is a size. Okay. Similarly, whenever you have created any file in the system, every file there should be a space inside the memory. How much space is given to a file? That is nothing but the size of the file. Understood? So whenever you are saving any file, internally there should be a space. The operating system should give a space to store that file. So presently, how much space that file is used? That is nothing but the size. And this file, this size, this attribute is not, the value of this attribute is not fixed. Okay, right now example today I have created one file a.c. The size of a.c is only the 20 MB and tomorrow I have updated. Okay, tomorrow I have updated. So the size of the file may grow. So here from 20 MB it may increase up to 40 MB. So the value of this attribute is not fixed. Whenever you modify, the size of the file will increase or it may decrease. Understood? Now, it's protection. Protection is nothing but a security. Whenever any file is created, it will give the permissions it will give who is created and who can access that file. Privileges. These are called as the privileges. Everyone can access or only few person can access. That will come under the protection. Who can access that file? Now come to a date and a time. So whenever in the system, actually we have a log file. Whenever a user creates a file, automatically when the file is created, means on what date the file is created, at what time the file is created, that information is stored inside the system. Okay, and example, today you have created a file, tomorrow you have modified that file, then what happened? Created date one information you will get, and last modified date also you will get, and how many times the file is modified, that information also you will get. Okay, this attribute value is also not fixed. Okay, as I already explained, today I have created one file. When you created a file, what information? File is created, means date of file is created. Okay, that information. Date of file is modified, file modified date, or last file modified date. Okay, that information means this date can be changed. Date of created is fixed, date of modified can be changed, and when you created a file, that information also you will get. The next one is the time of last access. Time of last access means when you have accessed the recent time. Okay, that information you will get. Time of last access. Okay, when you have modified file lastly or recently, that information you will get. The next one is the next attribute is the maximum size. Maximum size means last attribute is a maximum size. Maximum is up to what range the file can grow. Okay, up to what range the file can grow. That information also you will get. And you have more attributes. Who is the owner of the file? Okay, who is the owner of the system? Actually, whenever you create a file, you will get the owner information you will get. Creator information is also you will get. Owner, who is the owner of the system? Creator, who created the file? That information you will get. So these are the attributes. Depends on the marks you write in the exam. If it is for only 5 marks, if you write one line, two lines, it is enough. It is example. This question if they give for the 20 marks. Each and every attribute with example you have to write in the exam. Okay. Now we will discuss about operations on file. Next, operations on file means what operations you can perform on a file. Means operations like a file you can create, file you can delete, file you can modify, file you can rename. In the file you can update, means you can write content into the file. Okay, that are called as the operations. Okay, what operations you can perform on the file, that we'll discuss now. Here we have again list of operations on file. Again you try to present that information graphically. Operations on a file. Okay, like this. Here you have a list of operations what you can perform on a file. Okay, so in the exam, whenever they will give you the what is a file, what is a file system, and in detail explain about file operations or operations on file, then you need to write what is a file. Complete whatever I have given definition at the beginning, that definition you write. Next you draw this. Okay, so pictorial representation always scores maximum marks. So you give operations on a file. So what operations you can perform on a file? Create, write, read, reposition, delete, truncate, append, close, copy, rename, cut. You have number of operations, whatever you performed from last 2 years, 3 years, all the operations you can write in the exam. You created a file, you closed the file, you renamed the file, you deleted the file, you copied the file, you cut the file, okay, you append the file, you return inside the file. All those operations you can write. You can write in your own words also, but it is there in your syllabus. I am explaining. Okay, so I think for this you don't need a practical part. Everything you know here. Everything you know, how to create a file, delete, everything you know. Okay, just you present that in a written part. That will become your answer. Okay, now here, operations on a file. The first operation is a create. So, whenever you want to create a file, what you need, actually in a system, if you want to store your information, what you need a file. So, if you want to create a file, what you need? Space. Who will give the space? The operating system will give the space, and whenever the file is created, according to with the new file, your directory should be updated. Okay, previously one file was there. Now you have created one more file. So directory with the 2 files. So automatically when you create the file, the directory should be updated. Understood? And whenever you want to create a file, you need a space. Next, who will give the space? The operating system will give the space. And in the system, you can create a file for different applications. Like you can use different editors, Word editor, Excel, PowerPoint. You can create a different files. Only thing is, whenever the user want to save any file, content, then you need a memory. Okay, so when the memory you want, who will give the memory? Operating system will give the memory. And when you save the file, then what happened? The operating system directory should be updated with the new file. The next one is the write operation. So you have created a file. When you created a file, later or today or after creating a file, if you want to write a content into the file, then what happened? The operating system will provide a write pointer, which points the location from where you can write the content. That is the second one. Next, the read content. So whenever a file is created, you can perform different operations on the file. You can read the content, you can write the content. You have a reader, means if you want to write the content, you should have a write permission. If you want to read the content, you should have a read permissions. That already I have explained the previous one. The attributes of operations I have explained, permissions. Okay, so whenever you want to write any content into the file, then what happened? Again, the operating system will provide a name of the, means first it will ask the user to give the name of the file and where the file is located. So once you give the name of the file and the location of the file, it will give you the write pointer or read pointer. Write pointer. Actually, if it is a read operation, it will give the read pointer. So from that point, you can read the content. Understood? The next one is reposition. Reposition, in the name itself, you have a definition. Reposition. So if you want to change the position, if you want to change the file from one place to another place, then it will give you need to give a new value where the file should be repositioned. Next, delete. If you don't want a file, then what happened? You will delete. So whenever you delete a file, whenever you want to delete a file, the operating system will ask you, it will give you the prompt to give the name of the file and you want to delete. So whenever you want to delete, again it will give you the prompt whether you want to delete, yes or no. So when you delete the file, according to when you delete the file, again the directory should be updated. Okay, and the space is given to another file, means whatever space is given to that file, that will be released so that that space can be used by another file. The next one is a truncate. Truncate means if you want to truncate a file, whenever the file is, actually whenever the user want to truncate, means whenever you want to delete the file, instead of erasing all the attributes of that file, only the content if you want to delete, and you want to, the attributes should be remain same, then what happened? Only the content will be erased and the attributes should be remain same, and only the file size will be decreased to set to 0. Means using a truncate, what we are doing, just we are erasing the content. We are not deleting all the attributes. Whereas using the delete, all the attributes also released. But in case of erase, what happened? Only the content will be released and the attribute should be same. Next, append. Append, it is also there in string manipulation functions. Whenever you want to join anything, that should be joined at the end of the string. Similarly, this append operations, what happen, it will give the user to add the content at the end of the file only, not at the beginning. That is it is similar to write only, but here we have only one condition. Using a write operation, wherever you want to update the content, you can update. But using append, what happened, at the end of the file only, the content can be added. Next to copy. Copy operation, if you want to copy content from one file to another file, okay, we'll use the copy operation. Understood? Next, if you want to paste the content, then only we'll use the copy. Next, close. After performing all the operations, if you want to save the file for the future use, then we'll close the file. So whenever you close the file, the operating system will give you the prompt to save all the changes. If you say yes, then whatever changes you made, that will be saved. Understood? So this is about your file operations. This you can write in your own words also in the exam. Whatever operations you perform, you have created a file and you modified the file, you written inside the file. If you want to read, you can read the file. You can delete a file, you can close the file, you can copy the file, you can rename the file. Okay, you can reposition the file. You are moving file from one place to another place. You can append the file. So whatever operations you performed, all the operations with example you can write in the exam in your own words. But while writing in the exam, you take one example file a.c like that. Then whatever, after performing each and every operation, you give an example. Understood? So this is about your file operations and introduction to your file system. In the next class, we'll discuss about the file system and what techniques we have in a file system, what operations of the file system. Okay, that we'll discuss in the class. Okay, I hope you all understood this topic. What is a file, attributes of a file, operations and file. Okay, thank you.